President Joe Biden has ordered flags at the White House and federal buildings to be lowered to half-staff this Saturday in honor of Rosalynn Carter. The former First Lady died at her home in Georgia on Sunday at the age of 96. She is most known for her work championing mental health research and acting as a trusted advisor to her husband, former President Jimmy Carter. CBS News national correspondent Manuel Bojorquez joins us now. Manny, thank you so much for being here. I've been reading so much about Rosalynn Carter, her legacy as First Lady. You've been in Georgia covering this story. Tell me about that legacy and how people down in the Peach State are rallying to her side and across the country to the family side.
You know, it's so interesting. We talk about learning about her life, which we've been doing in the last several days here. You get a sense of how shy and timid she was growing up as a young woman in Plains, Georgia. But then as her husband began to seek political office, first state office here in Georgia, and then the White House, she really found some sort of confidence and some fire in her to really not just be a political wife, but in their view, political partners. And I think that's one of the things that's so remarkable. Some of the firsts that she had as a First Lady, if you will. One is sitting in on cabinet meetings at the White House. That was something that a First Lady had not done before. And it did ruffle some feathers, but she did not seem to mind that. And former President Carter didn't seem to mind it either. In fact, he called her, of course, his closest advisor, something she did really so that when they had private conversations later about the problems of the country and the world, they can really actually talk about it. But also, you mentioned the trying to destigmatize mental illness and improve mental health in this country and the way that it's treated. Only one other First Lady before her, Eleanor Roosevelt, had gone before Congress. This was something that she went ahead and did and actually sought to enact some legislative changes to bring about changes to the way that the country talked about mental health, but also the way that it was treated in this country. So I think those are some of the really important items in her legacy as First Lady.
Manny, when President Carter went into hospice care a while ago, I went down to Plains, and I was really moved walking around President Carter's boyhood home, the home where the Carters lived up until Mrs. Carter's death a few days ago. I'm wondering, what are the funeral plans? How are they going to incorporate at the Carter Center in Atlanta and the Carter Presidential Library and celebrate her legacy? How are they going to balance Atlanta and Plains? What are you hearing about all of those plans?
What we're hearing so far is that Monday there will be a wreath-laying ceremony at her alma mater. That's a university in Americus, Georgia, which is not far from Plains. On Tuesday, there are some events and remembrances that are scheduled to be held here in Atlanta at the Carter Center. And then Wednesday of next week, there will be a procession through the streets of Plains where the public is expected to line the street, the main street there. But the funeral that will be held at Maranatha Baptist Church, their church, that will be closed and private for just family and friends. And then there will be a private burial at the Carter home there in Plains, Georgia. Just one note, when we were in Plains yesterday, I spoke with the niece of former President Jimmy Carter, and he's 99 years old. He's in hospice care, as you mentioned. We asked what's his level of awareness, and she said, yes, indeed, he is aware that she has passed away and, as expected, is deeply, deeply saddened by it.
What a life. Rosalynn Carter and, of course, President Jimmy Carter hanging in there as tough as they come. Manny, we really appreciate your reporting from down in Plains and down in Atlanta. Manny Bojorquez, thank you so much.